One-of-a-kind pieces made by hand. Live in original. Etsy. One-of-a-kind pieces made by hand. Live in original. Etsy.
North Korea's weapons and missile tests have evolved in recent years from quantity to quality. We're no longer seeing dozens of tests in fairly quick succession, the likes of which we saw in 2017, for example. Each test now appears to be pushing their capabilities forward in a seemingly more measured way. North Korea claims that it has successfully launched a hypersonic missile, accomplishing one of Kim Jong-un's stated priorities. Exact specifications are unknown, but missiles with hypersonic glide vehicles can theoretically fly as fast as 20 times the speed of sound and can be very maneuverable in flight. This would make it almost impossible to shoot down. Some experts say it could change the military equation in the region. North Korea also says it has successfully launched a ballistic missile from a submarine, a way of getting past the missile defense systems of its neighbors or the United States. But other experts do point out that the quality of their submarines is low, so that threat is not imminent. Test firing a ballistic missile from a train, which enables a missile launch from a mountainous area that would be difficult to predict or track. And intercontinental ballistic missiles that North Korea claims could hit mainland United States. In March 2022, North Korea test-fired what it called a new type of ICBM, believed to have been unveiled at a military parade in 2020. It appeared to fly higher, travel further and spend longer in flight than any missile before. Experts believe it could potentially carry multiple nuclear warheads or decoys, again to get past those missile defense systems. No one knows for sure how many nuclear weapons Pyongyang currently possesses. Arms Control Association estimates that it has potentially produced enough fissile material for 40 to 50 nuclear warheads. Now, North Korea remains one of the poorest nations in the world. It is heavily sanctioned by United Nations Security Council resolutions, and yet it still poses a significant threat to the region and to the world. Kim Jong-un himself has called these weapons precious, saying they're needed for self-defense and also for survival, and he is not willing to give them up. He also continues to blame the US for raising tensions in the region.
Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rekha Kardash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is another quick sit-down lesson on this May the 4th, 2022 at 12:26 a.m. in the morning on this Wednesday morning in the a.m. And this is a news article from CNN World News. And this was published Wednesday the 4th, 2022, updated at 12:57 a.m. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads, North Korea launches ballistic missile, South says, which is South Korea made that announcement. And it says, North Korea fired a ballistic missile into the waters off its east coast on Wednesday, the South Korean military has reported. The missile was launched from Suyan, an area of the North Korean capital of Pyongyang, South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff said. The launch is North Korea's first since a military parade late on April the 25th, at which later Kim Jong-un vows to ramp up its development of nuclear arms. It says among the weaponry on the show at the parade, Pyongyang was a Hwasong 17 intercontinental ballistic missile, which is an ICBM, multiple giant rocket launchers, and a submarine launch ballistic missile. True peace can be trusted and nation dignity. A national sovereignty can be guaranteed by the powerful self-defense force that can overcome the enemy, Kim said in a statement released by the state-run Korean Central News Agency after the parade. He said his nuclear force first mission was to deter war, but if anyone tries to take away the fundamental interests of our country, our nuclear force will have no choice but to carry out its second mission. He did not elaborate on what the second mission would be. Wednesday's test, the North Korea's 13th of the year, including one on March the 16th, which is presumed to have failed. By comparison, it's conducting only 4 tests in 2020 and 8 in 2021. It says among this year's tests was the launch of an ICBM on March the 24th. North Korea's first test of that weapon was made 4 years. This is a developing story. Slocky. So yeah, that goes into the increase of the nation starting to show their military might and capability. And I believe Kim Jong-un made a statement about, I think at the parade they had in April. I think in late April they had, on April the 25th, I believe. He was saying that he was going to bolster his military defense, just in case their nation or their citizens of their country feel like they feel under threat, which is a second mission, according to the reports that he made a comment on his speech, I believe after the military parade of showcasing his military arsenal and capabilities, So that goes to show you the increase of the let the weak say I am strong. With these nations got these military strength and capabilities with their nuclear arsenal, These countries like Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, South Korea, India, Pakistan, and many more other countries as well too have nuclear capability, like Turkey, Ethiopia, and many other Libya, and many more other countries got nuclear capability as well too. And I'm gonna bring out that scripture in the book of Joel. Delete that. I'm gonna bring out this one scripture and I'm gonna close it out. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10, and it reads, beat your plowshares into swords and the pointy hooks. And I'm gonna look at the definition of pointy hooks. Must be something else, Salaki. Salaki. But I'm gonna bring it out again for edification's sake. Salaki on that part. Beat your plowshares, Book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10 in the Holy Scriptures, and it reads, beat your plowshares into swords and your plenty hooks into spears, and let the weak say I am strong, right? We start to see these nations with their nuclear capability, just like I mentioned with North Korea. They're firing their nuclear capabilities, the ICBM missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. They've been doing their launch tests. They have missiles potentially might can reach into Guam, close near to the United States territories. That's how far their missiles can launch. That's how over the years, Kim Jong Un, they had developed more nuclear capability, to the long range, the short range, and the mid range, and the ICBMs, and the Hong Song hypersonic missile 17, I believe that's what it's called when I was reading through the news article with the development of their nuclear arsenal and their capabilities and what can they do. And so that goes to show you that these nations are starting to show their military might, strength, and capability. And with that, I hope this quick sit-down lesson was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushua, Ba'Hashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, a great millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And before I close out this sit-down lesson on this May the 4th, 2022 at 12:36 a.m. on this Wednesday morning in the a.m., that goes to show you, once again, like I mentioned before, these nations are starting to show their nuclear capability and their military strength. Just like I brought out the scripture, the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Let the weak say I am strong, and these nations starting to show their military strength and capabilities. You're gonna see more of further of these nations doing their military strength and capabilities with their military training, with their military joint exercise training, more purchases of military arsenals from different nations, and more creating missiles and stuff like that with countries like Iran, in particular, North Korea, and South Korea, and many more other countries as well too, along with India and Pakistan. These nations got military capability, and they're gonna continue to train and do military exercise drills and test their missiles as well too. So with that, I would say shalom and a ball.